Welcome to the third section of the Writing Finesse course. Now, in this section, we are going to be talking about how do you enhance your writing based on the writing framework that we saw in the last section. So let's get right into it. In this video, we are going to understand the writing process. The writing process is very, very simple. You plan what you want to write, then you write it, and then you clean it up and polish it. And therefore, that's the simplest writing process. But obviously, there's a lot more complexity involved in it. So we are going to understand how exactly are we going to do this for two different modes in this section. One is our emails and the second is our instant messaging. So how do we plan, how do we write, and how do we polish this entire piece based on our writing framework? Now, before we get into these two modes, let us first understand, do we know when to use what mode of communication? Most often, this is the biggest challenge that we face. Sometimes we might not be very comfortable approaching a person face to face, and we resort to using an email or text message to share that message that we want to do with them, which is not right. It's also the same case with meetings. Why get into a meeting where the whole thing could be communicated by email to a large group of people? Learning to use the right kind of mode or medium of communication is very, very important. So first and foremost, you need to choose the right mode. If it is a message that needs to be broadcast to a lot of people, email is a great way to do that. But if it is a difficult conversation that you need to have with people, then spoken face-to-face communication might work out better. But if you don't have that option, then go for an email instead of an instant message. Instant messaging can be used when you want to send quick messages, you want to get quick updates, and it works. But it is not the best mode if you need to talk to a lot of different people, where email might be a better idea. As you can see, it is dependent on the situation that you want to understand what is the best mode of communication. You might also want to use a couple of them together. For example, you have a chat with somebody over your instant messenger, and then you want to maybe document that conversation or the important aspects of the conversation over an email. The same thing could be done after an important meeting as well. Once you're done with your meeting, all the important points could be noted down and sent as a minutes of the meeting, and that works as documentation as well. Learn to understand what situation you're in, if you're using the right mode of communication, and then complement it if required with a written mode of communication as well. So I hope this introduction helps you understand when to use what mode of communication. Moving on, in this section, we are going to focus on two important modes of written communication: email and text messaging. As a professional, both of these modes of communication are something that we use regularly, and therefore these are the two we are going to see in detail over the next two videos. And I'll see you in the next one for everything you need to know about emails.